Today, on this day, more than any other day, we have the fire. Why do we have the fire? Didn't the Indians play with fire? Look at the color it burns. You do not see it, okay? Do you see it as blue and pink? Okay, what color is actually the fire? You see, from my end, the fire is orange. The stem is burning, and this is our lives. When the Indians take this out, it's the burning wick that passes us and our angel and man, and when it burns to the bottom, you see it, they see it over here? Hold on a second, let me do it right. When it gets to this part over here, they burn together as one. The element of the V in the other side of the world is over. Once they match, these two sticks fall to the ground, even on the ground like this. So even when they're both out, they'll both be on the ground and able to walk to each other, when before, it was just in your head. It was an imagination. It was a dream. It was another world of Everland. That was incense. Incense. Some people say, what was that? I didn't hear properly. Did you say insane? I said incense. Sense. He says, I don't have any change on me. I says, well, you better learn to wake up and change now. I said, it's the change that's the most important thing in the life. It's not the dollar bill. The dollar bill can't fly. Okay? But the change, it rolls away. You lose it under the seat. The dollar bill, it flaps and it lands like a feather on your floor. Anyways, I have to have a cigarette. And the reason I'm coming on here now is because it seems like every time I go to YouTube, something happens. And I must have lost about 10 or 15 hours there. And you know what? They know the opposition of who you are inside your own mind, because there's nobody else, okay? The opposition, the ball turns. You have to be a perfect man. That ball has to balance of 4 out of 10. When you balance 4 out of 10, okay, you are a complete 10, because it's the 4 corners. Okay? It's the 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now with paper it's different, but if you have just a wire, okay, like I do the tic-tac-toe better wire, you just add a wire and you cut any one of these corners, the thing falls apart. Okay? So that's why the 4 corners are the most important. The center is, this is the 2-part of God inside creation. It's called beta. Beta represents the beat in the ground, the beat of the feet, the beat of the meat, the defeat of the feet that we entered into. They called it war. They call it the Battle of the 1500s. It was the Wild Wild West. Anyways, it brings me to a point where just out of the blue this came up, and I'm going to just talk about it. I got a few items on the list here, and like I said, you see this? Okay? If I started from the little finger, this finger would be free. You always need a free finger here. It's free to go back as far as it wants. I can let my finger go back as far as it wants. Is that all it goes? That's how free it is. But to go forward, I'm in control of this one. This is number 4. This is man's finger, okay? That's why you put the ring on this finger, because it covers the 4th corner, okay? You need to corral that, and you can't put a ring on it, okay? It's got to be held up by 1 and 3, or 1 and 3, or 5 and 3. 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3. That's the way the system works. And I dropped my cigarette. Just give me a second. So I put this on because the thought adjuster comes into me. Okay, and what the thought adjuster actually is, it's yourself. But you can't actually access it until you learn, okay, the value of the red spirit. Okay, if the value of the green spirit that is turned by the red devil, okay, making him a purplish color. Damn those purple people, purple rain. Is that what it's all about, purple rain? All I have to do is play with my colors a little bit more, because you know what? They didn't honor man 6. When they made man 6, they honored him, okay, by giving you 6 pennies. That's all. And I'll show you why the 6 pennies. One of the reasons is for this. This is Urantia. You see there's one side here, there's a floor, and the roof is free. I just made a design around it, but it's actually free. This roof is supposed to be way, way, way above, because all you are is that little dot in the center. Your head is over the side. You see, it's a blackout. It's a little bit of blue and black, because in your life you have to play all the roles, which blacks it out. But now the light has come and the little piggy has surrounded you. So now it's a blackout. What? What do you mean a blackout? There's no power. I gotta make a YouTube. What do you mean no power? Oh my God, a blackout. What's that? So you know what else I did? I had an old Coke in the fridge with bubbles in it. They were dead. It was dead Coke. And you don't want to keep dead Coke. The only time you want Coke is when the bubbles are alive. Otherwise, the sugar's no good for you without the bubbles. You need those bubbles. You want to buy Perrier? Go buy Perrier. We must drink the bubbles. Okay? Why do we think the best cheese stinks? Because it's Swiss and it has holes in it. The passage of every information went through that cheese and created the holes, and the suction and the hardness of the cheese is because the information is tighter wound. And the more information you have, the more you stink. Because either you talk too much, okay, or somebody else doesn't like what you said. So whether you're going to be a winner or a loser, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to get on to this. Shom just came. Oh, let me know. I want to show you one other thing. It's just for fun. Just these pictures, because I won't forget. You see this? It's a tank. This is like a tank. This would be Urantia, okay? There's a guy in the ass here. He's in the ass because he's got to watch everything he puts out. This is the devil. Spanish train. This guy against this guy. He needs the souls to feel this, because the souls go into this machine right here. When your soul goes into that machine, you get pumped out as a heart. You get stamped as a heart. They get to reuse you. Because God needs to reuse all of us. Because if He doesn't reuse all of us, He has to start creation over again. That means He has to stop this world. He has to recycle us into this world. We want an animal, whatever you want to be, no problem. You want to go up and help, no problem. You want to be inside of a human, but you don't want to be there too long, He'll give you a sick person. He's going to make them sick because we already know that this has been streamed. And the reason I'm doing this on Facebook is because Facebook, for some reason, I have to put in my email, which is tacpans@msn.com. And any site that asks you for either or means you are a value of either or. Your angel inside, you, whoever, I don't care. As long as it's you, and I believe it's you. But on Facebook, they want you to be you, okay? They don't want anything else but you, okay? That's all they're out for. Now, if anybody got cocky inside and they want a whole lot more, well, you know what? That's their business. We're living in this kind of world. It's getting really, really down to the nitty-gritty. And why is it down to the nitty-gritty? Because I've been thinking of talking about this since I was 10 years old, okay? I knew this moment was going to show up, but I didn't think it'd show up the way it did. But for me, it's fantastic. It's fantastic, but at the same time, the question goes like this. Am I mentally sane? Am I stable? Is the question. Now, can I answer my own question? No, but you could. You could see who I am and judge me. It doesn't matter which way you go, because I balance out at the end. You know, if you get a million people to say something about somebody, nobody, you know, if somebody's okay and he's pardoning and he's nice to everybody, most of the people will go at least 50-50. 50-50 is not bad. I mean, in sports, they take 10%. They take your whole brain away. Once you lose, 10% of your brain is gone. Other sports, they give you a 10-to-1, 10-4-1, and 10-2-1. It's not the same thing. If you tell me 10-4-1, I'd say 10-41 on the clock. And that's jack and exit. Wow, I didn't even think of that. 10-41 on the clock. Okay, what? Okay, 10-41 on the clock. 10-41. 10-41. That CB code would say turn around. 10-41 says turn around. And why I said this to you is because N is a passage, okay? So when they say to you, what letter? H-I-J-K-L-M. N. Oh. So N, oh no, it means reversed. It means on. What's on in one world is off the other world. It's on and it's connected. So the no is not a no. It's a yes, but it's a no. So in French, instead of saying that, they say a oui, like going to take a P, because it's the P of us is the result. Because when you take that PAT test, what do you think it is? It's a 161616. It means the spirit of a man and the spirit of a man and the spirit of a man who's a God, because that's how he goes up there. His fourth six, okay, makes him the 24th, and he becomes the God. When you gain that last world, okay, that corner that you had, those 4 corners that you had, that's fine, but you gain, okay, 2 of the center ones. You can never gain both of the center ones. Yes, you'll be beta 2, but the system, okay, is the heaven. And the heaven, since for us is 8, it's 2 for them. So therefore, that would be Venus, and Neptune. And I'm not sure if they're in the same system. I can't, you know those little things that hang over the kids' beds and the horses turn around? You know, that's what it is. These 4 planets don't bother these 4 planets, okay? Now the question is the mix, because the bar, okay, the carousel bar is on Jupiter. Now, I'm really surprised. I've been doing this for a couple of months now. Well, I've been doing this for a year, but no one's ever really come back and said, yeah, Jupiter's it, it's it, it's it. We got satellites, we got information. I don't understand. They can measure and see through filtration 1 billion miles away when the moon is a hop, skip, and a jump for a rabbit, because he's got rabbit ears, and rabbit ears are CB antenna. CB means creation beta, touching the man, and if you touch the man, you touch the man on the moon. So he's the electronic passage of everything. So the hidden secret of what it is now released. And you saw it on Facebook, because they have to do their best to protect this site, okay, so nobody else gets in the door, because it's my house, okay, and it's my email, and I don't want anybody touching my email. It's not Mr. Tackpans. Inside the letter, it's Mr. Tackpans, but on the outside, 765 is my address, okay? And if your address and your name does not go together, don't touch it. I am an I, and I stand up for me, and if you touch my mail, you're no longer an I. You are an angel, because now you have the rights to do everything. You become an I-angel of life. You want me to write that down? You become a God angel. You become an archangel. You become an archangel of life. Have you ever heard of the orange and striped cat? They called Garfield, because that's the way he was. You are Gar-life. You are on guard for life. And it stinks, because this over here is French for garlic. You are on en guerre. You are in war with life. In reverse this, it's a rag. You are a rag, and change the L, and it's not hard to change the L. Okay? Because I just make the L a little bit longer, you know? Because the L's got a big tail, okay? Now here's the L. It's now an F. Okay, you're a 5th. You're a number 5. You're not allowed to get out as a number 5. The 5 is the passage. It's in and out. Okay? You go in, you come out the 5. You go in, you come out the 5. Okay? That's not the passage. The passage to 1 is not that way. It doesn't work that way. So, now what I got to is the radio show. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Fin, shark, fin, it means $5. It's communication. The shark's fin communicates. This is the fin. I put an eye on it with an ear. This is only his fin, because he has communication right here, so why not put an eye? Because his fin doesn't need an eye, it reads it like that. Now let's go to the primaries of life, okay? At 40, we have Shom FM. 15 years later, you have Liberty 55. Okay, 10 years later, you're 65, the age of retirement. 7 years later, because we're dropping from 10, okay, we're out. At 15, we're already out of our world. We're down to the creation of our world, and this is the God. Now, before you create the world, there is no 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 7. So you add 7 to this, you become 72, which is the God of 2 worlds. Then you have to add the passage, which is 77. Now you have 2 islands of 7. That means you and your angel in each of their islands, okay, are 7 of 7. This was 72. And to get here, 77, 7 and 7 is 14. 14 and 72 is 86. Mr. Tackpans happens right here on 5775. 2014, month of October. So 3 years later, you become 80. Now you become a female at 80. Because in French, they say 80 as 80-20. It means 40-20. It means the 1 world and the 2 world of beta. Then we skip over 2, and we get to the last Spirit of God, 1. We passed in the telephone 9 times, okay, and center to come up with 81. All the aspects of our whole life in your computer, anywhere you want to go check this up, no problem. YRS. They're intermediaries. So the Y, okay, 25 and 18 is 43. 53, 62. 62 means the letter Z. You have gained 26. When you gain your 20 on your 6, you're in heaven. You've got that heaven. Okay, that 26 gives you another life. Okay, so okay. So now we have the 80 and the 81. So now if we add up only these on the bottom, we have 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. The same as this. This whole thing came out to 81, but this whole thing came out to 18. Now we have 40, 55, 65. Okay? 6 and 5 is 11, which is 11, 11 of what we're talking about. Okay? Because the only way to make 11 is take God out of the story, because the islands don't exist. So you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this and this changed the whole world. Now if you only add this in, 7 and 3, because we don't need the passage right now, we're just counting our life. 7 and 3 is 10, and 2 and 1 is 13. 13 means one spirit of 3 creation. Now we can create a bar mitzvah of a boy. For a female who creates, okay, on your telephone, the female creates saying 3. She doesn't say 6. 6 comes out, but it comes out of 9. So 3 and 9 is 12. And a bat mitzvah for a girl is the age of 12, because that's when Beta was allowed to have babies, at 21. Because 12 and 9 is 21. The minute you become capable, you have to wait the 9 years, okay, for each section of your system, okay, of your knowledge of thinking. And at 21, you're allowed to have a child. And that's why they call it blackjack. Because like I showed you, we're blackjack. And now it's a blackout. And we're going home. And the glacier out there in the Antarctica, say hello to the world. Because as you froze in hell, the glacier is now defrosting. And what a wonderful world it will be to have all those in the Arctic ice come back to life. Do you know how much energy is in that Arctic glacier? I have to go see the numbers to know. Okay, my camera's doing all kinds of weird stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to get ready for something else. Let me see if this is good. Let me see. Let me try and tell you this little thing I was thinking. Tricks made and interpreted by the mind, okay? The spade is our body, okay? So that means it has to have all our body pieces. The liver, and all, the liver, the heart, the lungs, and everything else. The brain and mind is the club, okay? So the spade sends, okay, messages out to the thought adjusters. That's the club, okay? And then the club goes ahead and corrects, okay? But the jack, okay, he's a jack of all trades because he's an iRobot. He only can do the trades. He can't do anything else. He only can make trades because he only knows that. So he trades this for this and this for that, and he fixes everything inside you. But the jack is tired of being your fat ass, because the jack is everything but our arms and our legs. That comes out of another box, okay? And you know what? It's the brain, really, but it's the spiritual man who really controls them. But in all actuality, it comes from what they say is Urantia, or I'm afraid to say, but YouTube is not YouTube, it's something else. There's something weird about that, I don't know. I like the site, but maybe somebody knows how strong and good YouTube is, because back in my mind, Google, YouTube, Explorer, and a few others, I think they're strong in there. I have to study to see. So anyways, this jack is an iRobot, and he's a spade, because his father's a spade, and his mother's a club, okay? And his uncle's a diamond. And he's jealous. So he sends out bad messages and he makes mistakes. He's only a machine. Okay, he makes mistakes and he's lazy. He's a lazy ass, this jack. This jack, okay, corresponds to the way we are. Okay, so that jack is us jack. So anyways, what happens now, the thought adjuster has to come around and say, hey, your other jack is jacking off. He's an ass. So I say, okay, because he's split. You know, he's just split right in the middle, like of your butt end. Okay, I say, so what do we do? What do we do? He says, he says, you're asking me a question. He says, that's exactly what we do. Me and you, we go direct. But I only have the cellular. Cellular, no good. You must go with Bell. Bell, watch this, do this. Hello? Hello, hello, yeah. Okay, I hear the vibration. Yeah, when you put your thumb inside your ear lightly and put your finger in your mouth, you hear all the echoes just like you hear the wave. Because when you listen to the shell, it goes up against your body and it hears all the waves coming out of you. And the waves that are heard by the tiny man in your head. Because the information is a wave. It's an energy. So it moves. So there's a wind. And that's why sometimes we fart. Because we got too much energy. So we just push it out the other end. Anyways, 5 seconds to go, Mr. Tacklins. Thank you very much.